Martins.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Grassroots Chats, episode 16. Today we are incomplete, but don't worry, the show is going to be complete. We have Mike, who has changed his holiday destination. Is somewhere in I don't know, somewhere beachy.
Maldives.
Yeah,
Up where they
Maldives.
Yeah.
Welcome the angry one to the show. Of course, Steve, aka Mr. Thanos, how's it going? And Karim is giving us shirts galore. Last week was white shirt. This week is pink. Next week, when Tottenham loses, it'll be red or something. We never know. But we shall see. Welcome, boys, to the show. Welcome, boys, to the show. It never be red, yeah? It always be white. Cool. Man, let's go straight into it. Who is Ralf Rangnick? That is the question everybody's asking. Who is this guy? Steve, what do you know about Ralf Rangnick? Tell me what you know.
I don't know much, but a lot of people are talking like he's the god of German football, and all the German managers that are doing well, like Klopp, Tuchel, saying that like he's the guy that they will follow, really, and his philosophy of what we're seeing in modern day football, pressing and play and attacking from the front, comes from him. So it's going to be interesting to see how he settles in the Premiership.
So apparently he's responsible. His philosophy of football is called hyper-energetic Gegen press, or whatever they call it. And a lot of the German managers, as you said, Klopp, Julian Nagelsmann, Tuchel actually played under him. And when Tuchel was injured, he encouraged Tuchel to become a manager. So, I mean, a bit of his profile. So he gave Hoffenheim promotion in 2006. He was the Schalke manager that took Schalke to the semi-final of the Champions League in 2011. They lost to Man United. And he won. However, he won the German Cups with Schalke. He's significantly known for the rise of Red Bull franchise in football because of his position as director of football. And in 4 years, Red Bull, in terms of RB Leipzig and Salzburg, they came from fourth division all the way to Bundesliga. So, and then he just left his position as manager of sports and development for Lokomotiv Moscow. Now, Mike, everybody talks about this high press football and all that story. So, do you think he can significantly change Man United's style of play in between seasons?
Well, yeah, because Man United, let's be frank, they can't get much worse. They're bottom of every single stat that matters in terms of defending, running, everything. So really, you can only improve anyway, which we showed a little bit, which we saw a little bit this weekend. But my question is this: if he's the godfather of this German football, but he's been out of the game for 10 years, why not just hire one of his disciples who are up to speed with the modern game? I don't get it.
Well, all his disciples seem to be doing well in the likes of Tuchel, Julian, Nagelsmann.
So why not just go after one of them?
Yeah, but those guys are not good. They're in positions that they're not going to leave their teams now.
But yeah, but Poch will, yeah. You're Man United.
No, but Poch. First of all, the Poch thing, no offer had ever been made, no approach had ever been made. Poch said he was interested. I mean, PSG turned that down straight away. The question his deal at the moment is interim manager, and if Man United decides to go with somebody else, he still has a consultancy role for 2 years, which makes sense. A smart guy because leaving the position he left for Lokomotiv Moscow. Karim, what do you think? First of all, when this guy comes to Man United, I'm looking at Man United's recent form. I mean, I watched the Chelsea Man United game with Karim, and Karim, I've never seen a Tottenham fan that wanted Chelsea to win so much. It was embarrassing. The man felt really bad when Rudiger almost scored. He wanted to shout goal. However, what do you think this guy will bring to Man United?
I feel like it's as we touched on it yesterday. I feel like it's a position on where he now has the ability to now change the philosophy of Manchester United and get them into a new style of playing of football, rather than getting them out of the Fergie era, which, to be honest, seem to be working at the moment in time. Everyone's, as Steve rightly said, everyone is pressing from the back. Everyone's bringing the ball forward. You don't really see the long ball, headers down, goals anymore. It's more of a collective of a team effort. So I feel like he's going to bring that into Man United now, which I think with the players you've got, is going to be quite good for you, to be honest.
Well, everybody's talking about, so the thing that the most energetic team, in my opinion, or at least one of the most energetic teams in the league is Leeds. They play high energy, the press, Bielsa has turned that around. And so is it a case that this guy will probably raise the levels in Man United? So, the players will be fitter, want to run, they want to do all that. So everybody talks about his energy levels and, philosophy, but tactically, I mean, he has won the German Cup, but tactically, what will he really bring? That's what I'm trying to understand here.
Well, I don't think it's a case of your players not being fit. They're fit. They're just lazy at the moment. Basically, Solskjaer was a supply teacher, and we all know that when a supply teacher comes in, the students take the piss.
That's a bit harsh, man. The guy went from sixth to third to second. You can't be that bad a supply teacher.
You're there playing worm.
Good supply teacher sometimes.
Yeah, but you're there playing worm instead of doing your actual work because the teacher's rubbish. Now you got a proper guy in, or at least semi-proper guy in. He'll just raise your level. So just by work rate alone, you guys will improve. Tactically, we already know. Well, we assume we know what he's going to do because it's going to be similar to what Klopp, Nagelsmann, and Tuchel are doing. But then they have their own stamp in it. Remember, they might have taken his original philosophy, but then they'll put their own style in it because Klopp and Tuchel don't play the same football. The only similarity is that high press. So we'll see.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's whether you guys got the personnel to do it. In some positions, you have the personnel. Up top, you've got quick players, Sancho, Rashford, Martial. But then when you get to like your fullbacks, particularly Wan-Bissaka, your centre backs, your centre midfield, I don't know if the whole team can press and if they have the ability on the ball when they do.
I mean, it's one thing that everybody's talking about: high energy, high press, high energy. As Michael just said, maybe he might come look at the team, see the players in there, have a different spin to it, and go, okay, this is. But then there's one of the arguments. I think Paul Merson Sky said that the players at Man United, some of them have achieved stuff. So how? First of all, the difficulty, and this guy is very respected in football, we know that. But still, a lot of people still ask questions, oh, has he won anything? Who's this guy? They did this in Germany. English football is the most difficult. It's very blah, 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 blah. Karim, as a player, if you are in Man United, how do you see, with this guy coming in with his reputation, what does he need to do to hit the ground running? Because his first game is against Arsenal, which means the team has, today, tomorrow, 3 days to train. Obviously, we're not expecting a quick turnaround, but what does he need to do to start to win the players early enough to make them play that high energy football? I
feel like whenever any manager comes into the team naturally gets a massive boost anyway. So I don't think he's going to have, obviously, a lot of time to get the tactical stuff and elements right within a few days. I think he's going to focus more on getting the morale up, getting the boys fighting, basically telling them, you're 10th or wherever you are on the table, you don't need to be there, you're a much better team, you're Man United, just getting behind them and just probably just gassing them up, really, just to try and get the most out of them, really.
Low blow, man. They're like 9th.
Nah, man, this is the time, man. You guys go for the low blows. Supply teacher. Steve, man, join the party.
I haven't said none.
No, I want you to say something. That's what I want.
That was factually accurate. That was even a diss. That was factually accurate.
Which one? Supply teacher?
Yeah.
No, man, nah. I told you, he took us, he went 6th, 3rd, and 2nd. How can the supply teacher do that?
That was the player. Yeah. No consequences.
First of all, I have Solskjaer was a lecturer, not a
lecturer. Actually, going back to that point by Paul Merson, yeah. What's he say? That he hasn't won no trophies.
So I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but he says the Man United players, first of all, the first thing he needs to do, so if this guy goes to Spurs or something, where the players have never seen anything like a trophy before, it is easy to try and get them to do what he wants because they believe they want to get to that next level. He's saying Man United, some of these players have already been at that level. Some of these players have won, Cristiano Ronaldo and a few others might have won something. So it might be difficult for this guy to put his philosophy one time.
Yeah, but
They're giving him the title interim, which this player has no worst case scenario. What's the worst thing? You're going to leave.
So, okay, so going by the statement, yeah, all right, interim does cause a little bit of a, how can I say, oh, this guy's not going to be here for long. But for us to say that, you can just, if he's beloved Arsenal, you could just look at when Wenger came to Arsenal. You had players there that had won the Premier League, that had won the league title already, and he had to come in and put his own stamp on it. So he's not saying it's not possible. Wenger came and changed the whole club, and that was within a couple of years of them last winning the league.
Preach.
So at the end of the day, for Paul Merson to make that statement, really incorrect. If the guy is seen and revered by a lot of top managers already, he has that respect walking through the door.
Yeah,
I know he's only won a cup, but at the end of the day, if you're talking like,
but then you can say that for managers that come to Man United after. I mean, you had Moyes, you had Van Gaal, you had Mourinho. Those guys are top managers.
Yeah, but what was he going to win? What was he really going to win with the teams he's managed so far? Let's put it in perspective.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Ultimately, look, if you don't do what I say, what he says, then you're not going to play, and it's a World Cup year, so it's up to you. Because they dropped Ronaldo yesterday to start off with, and they got a point. A couple of players were out, Shaw and Maguire, for various reasons, but they still played reasonably well. They don't have to play these players, so they've got enough people in that squad to drop people if they want to. Solskjaer didn't do it because he's a bit of a shook one, innit?
Yeah,
but this guy will, I think.
And the other thing is that if they will respect him, and then if they can see what he's trying to do is beneficial to them, then they'll jump on board.
Or you don't play, then you just sit there twiddling your thumbs in World Cup, yeah. It's fine.
Do you think, I know me and JJ and AK touched on it yesterday, but do you guys think it was right for Ronaldo to be dropped yesterday?
Oh, we're going to get there, son. Don't jump. We're going to get there. Don't jump. Don't jump the gun. We're going to get there.
It's going to be interesting. As I say, it's going to be interesting to see what he does when he comes in. I don't think the Arsenal game will be anything to judge by, to be honest. That'll probably still be Carrick. I don't think the guy will be on the touchline. When they come to, what is it? The fact that he's come in for 6 months and he's going to go up, most likely going to go upstairs, he could be making the way for one of his proteges to come in to the club, and he's just laying the foundations.
Do we know if he's going to have a budget to spend in January, or is there rumours? Like, it's not like you need any players.
The thing is, Man United do need players, and then if he's part of a strategy that he's coming in for the first 6 months to bed it in, and then the manager follows him behind, so then they can give him a little bit of money to spend, because what do Man United need really?
Yeah, what position?
Centre midfielder and to drop Maguire.
What position do we need? Lord God, Karim, what football have you been watching?
Fullback.
No, honestly, like, with regards to the banner, obviously, what position would you think?
Oh, first
of all, is your first pick?
Defensive midfield, number one. Defensive midfield. We have Matic who can play, but Matic cannot play. For example, he can't play 4 games straight, 90 minutes. No. He can't.
Doing madness, yes, and back kills and everything.
And to be fair, I mean, Matic is still ideally, I think, intellectually, he's probably still the best defensive midfielder we have. But his legs cannot carry him for 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. You have the inconsistent Fred. So, for example, Fred could play 2 good games and play another 10 bad games. And then the thing now with Fred is, okay, I know I'm definitely one of them that gives Fred a hard time. But when you watch Fred play for Brazil, it's a very different. I know people start talking about, the pace is different, is that. But when you watch him play for Brazil and that inconsistency plays for Man United, McTominay is still learning his trade. I mean, McTominay, he was given man of the match yesterday. Arguably, I don't know why, but he was given man of the match yesterday on Sky. And yeah, he can do very good things. McTominay, I think, will benefit if he plays from a very consistent, experienced defensive midfielder.
He's very rash, though. He's always getting cards.
So that's exactly what I'm saying. So if there's somebody that goes, okay, do this, move left, whatever, some experience. That's one of the positions Man United needs. Man United also, whether I like it or not, need a striker. Our 2 top strikers have a combined age of 70 years old, which means that at some point, you need to replace those boys.
Yeah, but do you replace them in the January transfer window? I don't think so. I don't think
No,
those
no, you
big
don't.
signings.
But I'm just talking
Yeah.
generally. When he said, "What do we
Yeah.
need?"
Oh,
There's lots of things
No,
we
that's a
need.
fair point. That's a fair point.
I don't think. I think there's enough there for the side to be tweaked in order to compete for the top 4.
I agree.
They won't get to the chasing the title, but yeah, to compete for the top 4, there's enough in the squad to. It's just about finding the formation and putting people in the right position.
So the question now
And
is,
effort.
if this guy is interim and he's going to go upstairs, because obviously he has a wonderful record in making things wonderful. I mean, based when he took over the Red Bull project, he turned they went from 120, their value went from 120 million to to 1.2 billion.
Right.
So that's to tell you, and because of that, they made him head of sports and development, so he knows his thing. He knows what, in terms of project structure, players, and the philosophy they used was his high energy, and they were buying not world-class players, but they were bringing out players from their academy and getting players on good deals. He created a very wonderful scouting system. So he knows his thing. So there's a possibility that, okay, fine, come in interim manager, put that philosophy in there, go up top, and then start bringing in players and whatever manager.
But will you do that though when you're Man United and you can afford to pay 100 million for one player? Are you gonna
No, but then
for diamonds in the rough?
No, but it's a win-win though. So you can do diamonds in the rough, and you can also buy in good players. So it's a win-win if works.
But has he got a record of buying in good players? So I know he's done like diamonds in the rough and young ones and bringing clubs up, but Man United are up there already in terms of club stature in the world, and their expectation is to compete for established stars. So what's the record on?
Yeah, but then I said win-win because Man United also has the history behind it where young players are given a chance. So you can get that aspect can happen, and then the aspect of increasing the scouting system, and then we also know, okay, we might have.
Wait a second. Go on.
You say that, but before.
I know he's going to say.
Let me say this
before
carefully.
Rashford. He's going to say before Rashford.
Yeah, before Rashford.
Yeah.
Class of '92.
Who else is and Greenwood? Who else has come through the youth?
So before Rashford and Greenwood, the space was big.
Makeda.
But Wes Brown came through there. Federico Makeda.
Yeah, but that was like donkey years ago though.
Yeah, but then compared to all the other clubs out there. So 92, how many players came in? 6-7 players came in. How many clubs can mention that? 6-7 players.
Probably Arsenal's done it. Probably.
Then when was the last time anybody broke through from Tottenham?
Harry Kane, Harry Winks.
Winks broke.
I'm waiting for Troy Parrott.
I didn't really say it.
I'm waiting for Troy, man. I'm waiting for Troy.
So you have been watching the Premier League for how long? And you can only mention 2 players.
Yeah, but you guys have that special that 90 class 92 was a one-off. Let's come on. Can't keep living off that.
It was a one-off, but it's happened. And over the years,
after that.
I mean, Darren Gibson, if you remember, Cleverly. Those guys all made it to the first team. You can't all of a sudden you can't remember who those guys are.
Oh, was Cleverly Hummed?
Cleverly was from the feeder team as well.
It was all right.
So it's at the end of the day, it's about giving because of the caliber of the players that passed through. I mean, if you look at I can't remember his name, the kid in Bayern that has come through their feeder team. It is I can't remember his name, but he's a midfielder, young German kid. He's mixed race, I think. So if you look at the levels of players that played in Bayern, when you bring, I mean, Mason Mount is the first. Chalobah has come through now and all that, but before Mason Mount,
where's
the
Reece
next
James
person,
from? Where's Reece James from?
Reece James was bought. I can't remember where they bought him from.
Is it?
Yeah.
Boy, he's good, man.
But
that's the deal.
Mason Mount, before Mason Mount broke through, and then now you have Chalobah. John Terry was the last person to come through their feeder team. So you can imagine. So when people say, "Oh,
they had a different model. They have a different model. They used to buy young talent from around the world.
But they don't use them.
They had De Bruyne. That was because of managers. They had De Bruyne. They had Salah. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but Salah. They bought Salah from the club from Switzerland, from Basel.
Yeah.
So how many, even clubs that tell you that, okay, our model is to give young players a chance, how many do they bring out? It's one thing, give them a chance, but are they talented enough to play in the team?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Mm.
So, but we should, oh, I forgot John O'Shea. There are lots of guys that came out.
Mm.
Anyways, moving forward. So the next question I'd ask, so will Ralf Rangnick keep Carrick and the coaching staff as it is now? Because I'm not quite sure of that part. Is he going to keep the coaching staff
I
as
think
they are now?
I think you should.
Why? Well, obviously, because we want them to be crap, but if we're being honest, them guys need to go.
No, I don't think you've seen a lot of Carrick though. To be fair, like we've never really seen his model of managerial style. Or
He was
anything
there
like
with
that.
them.
Nah, you say that, but Solskjaer was there, so he's one of Solskjaer's coaches.
So Solskjaer always got the final say. But I think Carrick could have the credentials to be a good manager. To be honest.
No. Listen, mate. Listen. Yeah. Solskjaer, when he was doing his interview, man was all crying when he's talking about Carrick like it's his boyfriend. Yeah. So don't act like as if Carrick didn't have no say. Carrick had a say. He's the same person. He's part of the whole problem. Clear them all out and start again if you do it properly.
I think Rangnick will keep the coaching staff.
But that's for politics. It's not.
The ones that we see, I think he'll keep the coaching staff, especially the fact that he's an interim, because he might put some strategic people in if he knows who they're already getting in the summer or who they're working to get in the summer. But I don't think I can't see him coming and clearing out the coaching staff.
So the story now is that the two targets come summer will be Pochettino on the Ajax manager. That's the story. However, so Paul Scholes made a statement that him personally, he would think the entire coaching staff should have been taken or should go, because he's saying, I mean, Carrick has been there with Mourinho. Through Mourinho, he has been there now with what's it called? Solskjaer all through this time. Now, another point Paul Scholes made was that Solskjaer, he didn't see Solskjaer as there's some managers that want to be involved with the day-to-day training. So like the likes of Wenger's and those guys over there, they want to see what's happening. And then the managers, the first team coach does all the running around, and then they come, look, pick the team, final say. And he believes Solskjaer would have given a lot of responsibility to Carrick and all them boys. So he says like, why this guy staying there? However, Carrick now is talking about he's proud of the boys and how they've worked hard since the Villarreal game and the game against Chelsea. So what is different? What's he doing now that is different that he couldn't tell Solskjaer, oh, let's try this or let's do this? What's he doing that is different?
Nothing.
The players just decided to work harder. They just decided because they didn't respect Solskjaer's liberty, but they didn't.
That's it. They looked like they wanted to play yesterday.
Supply teacher things, isn't it?
So why respect? Why not? Why would you choose not to respect Solskjaer after one point, and then all of a sudden you respect Carrick, who has been with him?
It's not. It's not about respecting Carrick.
Yeah.
It's about there's change happening. At the end of the day, they need to up their levels so they don't become a victim of that change. Well, they don't know what the Ragnick's coming in, and also they know that there's a new manager coming in. So if you don't step your levels up over the next few months, you could be sold.
Though, Steve, don't you think that there were more changes made in that game than we've seen for quite a long time under Solskjaer? Maybe that's a second. Maybe that's
possibly.
Carrick.
I think some of it's was forced, because at the end of the day,
but not Ronaldo wasn't. Ronaldo wasn't forced.
Ronaldo wasn't forced, but he wanted him to play a pressing game. So maybe.
But when did Solskjaer ever do that? Just one example.
Against Everton.
And what happened? You win.
1-1. Against
same
Everton.
thing.
Yep, against Everton.
But Everton aren't Chelsea. But yeah. But
it's probably an acceptable game to do it, where you want to change and be on a more defensive footing, and Ronaldo, and dropping Ronaldo wouldn't be so controversial.
So Carrick has had 2 games in charge as manager. Yeah. Against Villarreal, he started with Anthony Martial and Donny van de Beek. Bruno Fernandes was on the bench and Rashford was on the bench. The game against Villarreal started the usual compact, no shot on target, nothing. De Gea made some good saves. He takes out Anthony Martial, takes out Donny van de Beek, puts in Bruno Fernandes, puts in Rashford. different game. Attack, movement, pop. Before you know, yes, Villarreal makes a mistake, but 2 goals. Ronaldo scores, second goal, movement. Sancho scores. Managerial class. Yeah, we play against Chelsea. All of a sudden, the same thing. Not much was happening. One mistake, quick press, got the ball off Jorginho's mistake, score. Then he brings in Ronaldo. So now he's kind of proven that I'm going to do what I think is best for the game. So he benched Ronaldo, which everybody's like, oh my God, how can you do that? So heated debate between Roy Keane and Jimmy Carragher. If you have not seen it, man, you need to go and see that thing.
I see it. It's great.
So,
No, you know what's even better? You need to see the bit with Gary Neville showing the video.
Yeah, showing you. So that was class.
Yeah.
But now the question here is this. Roy Keane is making the point that in a game against Chelsea where you seem like things might be going okay, you're defending well, and you want to score a goal, Ronaldo should be on the pitch. He shouldn't be benched. And Carragher is saying, yeah, but he wanted to press, and Ronaldo doesn't press. And Roy Keane goes back to say, yeah, but Ronaldo has never been pressing for about 5-6 years now. So even at the time that he was supposed to be in more form and younger, he wasn't pressing. So he doesn't understand why everybody's talking about this pressing game. That a game against Chelsea where you want to win, you put Ronaldo and start him. So then they go back and forth and all that story.
He also makes a good point where that's not his game, as you rightly said. And the players should be playing around him. So basically, should be pressing for him, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is something you should do on the training ground, though. So if it's something that they don't do, if it's something that they don't do on the training ground, you don't expect them to do it. If the manager hasn't made them practice it or made them do it.
Yeah, which is fair.
And of course, if Solskjaer didn't do that and Carrick has just started and goes, okay, fine, I think we need Ronaldo to be on the bench or we'll try and blend it or with time we'll find a way. But the man is 36 years old. So, yes, he's very fit. He lives his life, football things. So the question here is simple. If Man United, nobody expected Man United to win against, most people didn't expect Man United to win against Chelsea yesterday. So a draw, took the lead, penalty, whatever. If United had lost with Ronaldo on the bench, it would have been, oh my God, how can you bench Ronaldo at this time? And then he comes in and everybody's talking about the press and all that. So it would be good to see how Ralf Rangnick blends Ronaldo in his team, because he's already talked about, oh, if he plays high press, and since Ronaldo doesn't press, Ronaldo might be on the bench more. So
he will be.
Go on, man. Go.
Because he's 36, so he's whether he's physically able to press. The fact that he doesn't is the choice, really. It's not that he can't press. So if he decides to press, he will press. But however, he's 36, so will he be able to press? Even the ones that are fit, will he be able to press in that way without training for a whole game? No. So it's better to keep someone like Ronaldo in small spurts, because he can do the job in 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. He doesn't need to be on the whole game to get you that goal. Just one chance, bang, it's a goal. So see how the game goes, bring him on. He'll still get the goal if it falls to him. There's no need for him to start every single game because he's Ronaldo.
Yeah, the fact that it was against Chelsea, I can understand putting him on the bench, because if you're going to come in with a defensive mindset, yeah, he might just be disconnected from the front if he's up front. So I can understand them doing that against Chelsea. If they're playing a different team and they had that mentality, then I'll be thinking doesn't kind of make sense, because everyone's saying that Ronaldo can't press. Ronaldo can press. Ronaldo presses intelligently. And the thing is, when he presses, the whole team needs to do it. And Man United are not trained to do that. Yeah. And as Mike said, they haven't been trained in that way. And it's going to take quite a while to get a mindset to press as a unit. The other thing is, Man United, if they play Maguire at the back, they can't play pressing. They can't play a press. No, because he's too slow. Because the thing is, you press as a team, innit? So everyone comes up. So everyone's pressing. And if you're pressing, you play a high line, you leave space in behind. Yeah, you can't do that with Maguire, how slow he is. And then also you've got a goalkeeper in De Gea that sits. He's an old school goalkeeper. He's not one that ventures.
He's not. See, let's not go through this again. You saw it yesterday.
No, he's not one. No,
there was a few times he came out of the box, but he's not really that guy.
He's not a sweeper keeper. He's not a sweeper keeper.
He's not, man.
It's not. I'm not criticizing him to say he's bad. I'm just saying that's his style. Yeah. That's his game. He's not a sweeper keeper.
Lloris is not one either.
Yeah, teams that want to play high press, it's the whole team.
I was gonna attack Lloris, but I remember he's a World Cup winner. I can't really say.
He's a World Cup winner, bro.
I remember he's a World Cup winner. It's really nothing. You can't really say much about that. He was the captain again.
That doesn't stop AK with this in Pogba.
Yeah, that's true.
No, Pogba is one of those guys that everybody.
Pogba had a fantastic tournament as well.
Yeah. That's how it goes. So it'll be interesting to see what Ralf does. Carrick, I mean, he's taking his opportunity well. He's had 2 games. It looks like he has stamped his authority. What do you guys think about Jadon Sancho? How's he looking? Karim? I mean, I know
he did look good. He looked like he was hungry, and he feel like he's getting his feet in the door now, and he's actually starting to play well. To be honest, I was pleased with his performance yesterday. I'm happy he got a goal as well because I want to see him do well, considering the massive jump that he done from Dortmund, being a second/third main guy at Dortmund to now being back in Man United to prove a point. So it's good because ideally I want him to go with my England head on. I want him to obviously go to the World Cup.
The thing is in the Sancho thing, yeah. It's like Solskjaer didn't want to sign him. It's like Solskjaer didn't want to sign it because to spend 70 million, you're putting the boy on the bench don't make no sense.
Yeah,
but wait,
not even giving him a chance.
But I mean, he hasn't played lots, but he's got 2 goals in 2 games, right? But is he playing well, or is that just the stats that would say, "Oh, he's got 2 goals"?
Against Villarreal,
he played well.
Villarreal, he played really well. Yesterday, I think against Chelsea,
they hardly had the ball. He hardly had the ball. So
against Chelsea, compared to the Villarreal game, he didn't play as well. But as I said, he played tactically well. He did what he was supposed to do, the high press and all that. Well, moving on from Man United and Ralf Rangnick and benching Ronaldo, not benching Carrick, leaving or not leaving. So that's this in terms of, I know it was just 1 game, but are we a bit confident to say that Newcastle are going to be the richest club in Championship real soon? I mean, it was a good first half against Arsenal, stayed compact, 1 or 2 moments, but once it was just the constant, and the way Arsenal plays is the constant press, but it's not constant dominant press yet. So it's like take your time, pass the ball around, don't rush it, give it to Tavares. I mean, Tavares was trying to score from halfway line at some point, just trying to shoot. So it shows that Arteta's philosophy is coming together against. Arsenal they're winning against teams they're supposed to beat. Saka being the main man for Arsenal, and a lot of people that I don't know why they still even question that the boy's talent. But the question here is, Eddie Howe, does he have time? His next 2 games are against Burnley and Norwich.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever will be the 6-pointer. Does Newcastle still have time to save this season?
I think it's a bit unfair because he had coronavirus and obviously going into it, he hasn't really been around the boys, getting them technically ready and probably gassing them up to ready for the game. So I think these next 2 games with a more decent opponents with their credentials, it should be interesting to see. I'll probably see after the Norwich game to see if they're going to be the richest club in the Championship, because that'll be a good gauge. He's had 4, 5, 6 weeks to now get involved and get in the boys' heads, but I still think it's a bit early, me personally.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I agree. If they don't take at least 4 points, take 6. If they don't take at least 4 points from that and start get wins soon, then yeah, they're going down, because it's going to be too far. They're going to have to pull out mad results like beating the top 3 to survive, which nobody really wants. But I mean, they looked good last week or 2 weeks ago whenever they played the 3-3, but against Arsenal they were just okay. They didn't really have a sniff. I can't see where the win is coming from at the moment. It's drifting. They're not terrible, but they're just not good.
What do you think, Steve? They have a chance?
They got a chance. I think the business that they do in the January transfer window will be an indication as to whether Eddie Howe's appointment was to keep them in the Premiership or it's to allow them to go down and rebuild and come back up again.
Oof.
Because
That's a risky project right there.
but is it a risky project? Because they know they go down and they know they can spend money to come back up. So for them, it's not really, they don't need the parachute payment and all that kind of stuff there. Financially, they have the clout they'll outspend anyone in the championship if they go down. And they've got a decent squad already. The gamble is the players that are there, will they stay to come back up? When Eddie Howe went down at Bournemouth, he kept that squad together and they came back up. So Newcastle.
No, but remember, Eddie Howe didn't go down with Bournemouth. He came up with Bournemouth. No, he came up with Bournemouth. He took them from League 2 up all the way.
Okay. I thought they went down and come back up.
So he didn't go down and they haven't come back up yet. So,
but I still think he could get a squad together and come back up in the Premiership with the backing.
Yeah, so but then that's a double rebuild then, because you're gonna go down, get rid of half of the shit players, get some new players who are championship level, just below Premier level, perhaps. But then when you come back up to the Premiership, if you come up, you're gonna have to do a complete rebuild again, because those players most likely won't be good enough for the Prem.
No. I do get what you're saying, but it's just the fact that they appointed Eddie Howe, and if you're looking at Newcastle, are they gonna make significant investment and get players in that can save them this season? I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not sure of the appointment. He's not exactly world renowned for like fighting relegation, to be fair, and that's what they're in. If they were mid-table, yeah, it makes sense to bring him in, or just below. But if they're already they're bottom of the league, they haven't won a game. Was it a case of a bit of the possibility that maybe the managers that they would have wanted didn't want to come because that project was going to be very risky?
That was one of the reasons apparently why Emery turned it down, is because he wasn't interested in relegation, and the risk of going down. He wasn't involved. We didn't want to involve in that. Well,
it's interesting to see, because I always believe that whichever manager that they had, your key job was to keep them up. And looking at those players. So now, I mean, Mike made a statement that in terms of going back to the championship, looking at the Newcastle squad now, Karim, if Newcastle goes down, how many of those players will clubs go for? So I know Callum Wilson will probably get.
Callum Wilson will get a pick in.
Sam Maximin.
Again.
I think I'm Arsenal all day.
And who else? Lascelles, the defender.
Lascelles will probably get a
keeper as well. He's all right. He's not bad.
But where would they go? They will go to they'll go to other clubs, but they're not going to go to.
Yeah, but I mean, they'd rather be in a squad in the Premier League than to be in the Championship and play. Well, I think so.
I can see Callum Wilson and Sam Maximin, and not really Sant, but Callum Wilson in like a Leeds or a Southampton.
Where was he before? Bournemouth, isn't it?
Yeah.
And did he stay with them when they went down, or did he bounce? He bounced to Newcastle as soon as they went down.
Yes, straight up.
Even Watford's, like, you can pick him up, but that's the only really 2-3 players that I could actually see worthy of staying in the Premiership, to be honest.
Willock, maybe.
We shall see what happens. Let's
Willock's gone dry since.
Yeah, I think he played well against yesterday, but then there's really nothing you can do in a team like that. Can play well, but
who's that?
Willock.
Oh, Willock.
Well, you might as well, if you're going out anyway, you might as well just kept Steve Bruce in the season. Like, point.
It was about morale and making people smart.
Morale is no point. This guy ain't got the tools. Well, let's see.
About morale, making people smart. The question I have though is, are we slowly beginning to see life of Arsenal without Aubameyang? Yes, I know he played yesterday.
Did he?
But does he really influence the game as he used to? I mean, his big influential point was scoring, and he kind of played a shot to hit the bar.
He's a waste man, full stop. Man's missing chances and smiling. What the fuck? Who does that? You open the sitter and you're smiling. No, what up? Smiling.
Ever since you lot got excited and done a live video of my man signing his contract, he ain't really been the same player, really, has he? To be honest.
I don't know about that, but he's wackadicious right now, man.
No, but he's been whacked since then. Since he signed his 300 grand a week deal, when has he really played?
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot of off the pitch stuff.
Nah, man, so making excuses.
I think there's a weight of the captaincy.
Is it? What's he smiling for?
Took him some time to get used to. I don't think he's a complete waste man, because I know people will say, yeah, he's not scoring goals.
Not everybody handles their pain like you, Mike. Some people.
Hold on, this guy just saying that. The guy saying that he's going through mental trauma and stuff, and he's upset or whatever.
He couldn't be, bro.
But
there was stuff he went through last
chance, then he's smiling. He does that.
There's always been a smiley guy, though.
Oh, you did that on Saturday, didn't you? Then let's not say that. Anyway.
There was stuff last season, yeah. But this season he seems back more to his old self.
How's that?
He's not scoring goals, but he seems a happier player on the pitch.
But I don't want him to be happy. I want him to be scoring.
We're not losing, so at the end of the day, we're not suffering in that moment.
But he's taking a valuable spot that someone else could be playing.
What's the value? Who's going to take the place?
Martinelli, Laka.
You don't know you don't know. Arsenal as a unit are not scoring goals. It's not one person. Arsenal as a unit are not scoring enough goals.
That is true, Steve. But given the fact that his main job is to score goals, I think we've got to say, well, you're not doing your job.
Well,
it's like a defender.
People can say that. People can say that when he was most prolific for Arsenal, he was right on the left.
Well, I don't care where he plays. He's not scoring goals.
Well, in terms of goal scoring, the same way I asked the question about are we beginning to see life without are we beginning to see life without Firmino and Liverpool, Jota tearing goals left, right, and centre, and Liverpool just looking like the forward line are back to what they used to be, and it's as if they've had their rest now, they're chill, and now they're just scoring goals left, right, and centre. I guess it's happening.
I would say that
is Jota in the brackets of world class now, Steve?
No, it's not in the bracket of world class. He's a good striker, but he's not a
bracket of world class.
Well, he's not world class. Whichever way you want to put it, forward, striker, whichever position you want to put it on, he's not world class.
Is Mane world class?
He's very good. He's very good.
Is Mane world class?
I think he is.
Okay.
Yeah, of course he is.
I think he is because
but Jota isn't world class yet.
I don't think not yet. I think the comparison with Firmino not playing, you can see that statement you made about seeing life without Firmino is more fitting for Liverpool than the one at Arsenal, because Aubameyang's still playing a lot every game. Yeah, Firmino's not playing and Jota's filling in. So I can see that. I can see that transition. I can see that transition, and he's actually, some will argue, taken over because he's giving more goals than what Firmino does. Or that's how it appears to seem.
But Mike, you remember you brought up a point that since Jota has come to Liverpool in some episodes ago, since he has come, he has actually, when he's fit, he has actually changed. There's a change he has brought to the team. So if this guy comes to this team and makes a massive change to world-class players, doesn't that make him world-class?
No. It makes him better.
It's too early to call him world-class.
It makes him a player.
He just
world-class.
Makes him a what, sorry?
He's facilitating world-class players playing better, but he doesn't make him world-class.
Or is him being around world-class players making him a better player?
Yeah, it will. Naturally, well, yeah. I'm sure that happened to Firmino, even though
I think that's what
Karim wearing these shirts, man.
Because the thing is,
he's just giving Liverpool options which they never really had from Firmino the other day. Like we had the discussion yesterday. Firmino wouldn't be in them positions where Jota picked up them 2 goals from, basically.
Well, we had that debate a while ago when you guys were saying that Firmino's role is not to score goals anyway. So it's a different player.
He's a supplier.
Yeah,
supplier.
True.
Well, since we're jumping and just looking at different patches and different things and all that, Mike was very interested in this topic because he wanted to really understand Tottenham's situation with NS Mora. and when you look at the squad, when you look at this, Karim's serious now. Mike, stop laughing.
Exactly. Very serious now. Stop laughing.
So when you look at the squad that play the team that play against Mora, it's still actually a very good team. You had Sessegnon, you had Dele Ali, you had Doherty, you had
Dembele.
Kane started again, Dombele, Karim's favorite, his brother, pretty much. But for some
Mhm.
reason they were very toothless in that game. And
Yep.
NS Mora had no points, they scored 2 goals. However, there are certain players that man, Sanchez, Lord have mercy. I don't know what was wrong with that guy that day. Dele Ali doesn't look hungry again. It's as if he's one of those that he just goes, mate, you're playing like, really? Like he's surprised. He doesn't look like his
Mm.
old self. And pretty much snowfalls kind of saved us or saved anybody from seeing how Tottenham would react if they would have been played better against Bonding.
He actually saved them because I think Burnley would have done him.
Yeah, I was upset when I saw it postponed.
Why do you think that, Steve?
Burnley, you just know they're gonna give you a game, innit? You gotta be up for it. You gotta put effort in, and if you're not fully up for it, Burnley's gonna run you ragged and be physical. They'll create chances and they'll probably pull it off.
But,
What do you think?
does it show that Tottenham, because they've got a good team, it's not telling them, but does it show that they haven't got a squad then? Because after that first 11, which is okay, there's nobody else behind it. You can't make that many changes because you won't have the same. You don't have like for like replacements.
But Mike, I didn't watch the game. But the team that they lost to in Europe, they should still beat them. Even
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Players that played, they should have. If it was a Premiership game, then I could say yeah, but they should have still beat them. I didn't see the game.
Let's hear from the man that was there. You went to the game, right, Karim?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay.
I wasn't there.
No. Let's hear from Karim about what he feels about what happened.
We are reporting live from Slovenia, and our Tottenham correspondent Karim B. Karim, how's the game going?
The game was poor. As you rightly said, we were toothless. The boss came out and he said the right words. He said that we are basically poor and we have got a lot of work to do.
So Sessegnon was sent off, and Tottenham played with 10 men for a good part of the game. They actually played way better as 10 men when they were 11. Tottenham actually got 1-1. Harry Kane with a good goal. Why did he keep the game like that, just to stay on like that? And they decided to try and go for the goal at the end with 10 men. Because he brought on Son, he brought on all the big stars to come on and try and change the game. And then last minute, Sanchez gets on, and boom. Conte also came out to say, looks like it's going to be a tough one in this job that I'm here. So
it is.
But Sanchez has never been right since he had that concussion when he got dribbled by Gundogan.
Well, we shall move on from the torture of Tottenham, and hopefully when we see them back, Tottenham is actually so the next couple of fixtures.
Thursday with Brentford, so hopefully it's a win at the Lane.
I think you'll be right. Once you get the main guys back, you'll be right.
I mean, Brentford, they're slowly and quietly just doing things that they need to do in the league, picking up draws and picking up points when they need to. They had a win against Everton.
A big one this weekend.
Yeah. So when you're looking at the fixtures, there's going to be some sweet fixtures between Tuesday and Thursday. All the games on Amazon Prime. So no Sky or BT, Amazon Prime. So you can steal a password or two from somebody that you know to watch the game. The interesting game coming. So on Tuesday, you have Newcastle Norwich, which is a must win for Newcastle if they want to do anything. But in saying that, Dean Smith has gone to Norwich and has taken 4 points from 6. So it could be a new look Norwich. You have Leeds playing Crystal Palace. Big up to Steven Gerrard, 6 points from 6. And he beat Crystal Palace this last weekend. And then Leicester actually beat Watford with James Maddison and Vardy having a wonderful game. Ademola Lookman with his first goal. But Southampton is playing Leicester on Wednesday. Watford is playing Chelsea. West Ham Brighton. The Brighton Leeds game, the Brighton fans were booing after a 0-0 game, and the manager was surprised as to why you guys booing. It was a game that we could have won, but it didn't. So it's strange. Villa playing City. It'd be good to see what Gerrard does there if he can pick a point. And of course, Everton Liverpool on Wednesday. And Spurs play Brentford. We shall see if Sanchez's head will be correct at that point. And Man United Arsenal. Is this the best time to play Man United, Steve?
A couple of games ago, it would have been better. The players are going to be out to prove. The Man United players, I think, are going to be out to prove a point. So the energy levels will be a bit up. Also, I think Maguire's suspended, isn't he?
He should be back.
Oh, he should be back. Oh, so I'm happier. If Maguire was suspended,
he might score from a set piece. He's big potato head.
He might do, but then he might not. But then if Maguire was suspended, then it's not a good time. But if he's suspended, then it's better.
Based on pace and as you guys have mentioned, high energy and all that. I mean, I think my best pairing for Man United would be Eric and Varane if Varane can stay fit. Lindelof has good games every now and then, but Maguire, man, needs to step up in one. I mean, over the years, players have not been fast. Cover up being, positional mindsets. Look at John Terry, Hoopier, those guys. I mean, I keep mentioning Cavallo, and I keep mentioning that Ledley King played with one knee, and he was still faster and better positionally than most defenders in the world. But Man United Arsenal, Mike, what do you see in that game? Thursday, 8:15.
My heart says we'll win, but my head says it depends what after turns up. I don't know. Yeah, you got Ronaldo. You can always do us. You always seem to do us when, even at your weakness, somehow you get a result. So I think it might be a draw. To be honest.
Well, a draw at this point in time, Man United will take a draw. Arsenal wouldn't though, because Arsenal has been playing well.
Obviously, I'm reverse jinxing really, but yeah.
You can reverse jinx all you want, man.
I think you might win.
If only scores work from your reverse jinx, that makes sense. Karim, outside perspective, I mean, I know you'll be worried about Ivan Toney, but what do you think, Man United Arsenal?
I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
Every time Karim has said a draw, we win. So
you actually want the result? Oh, sorry, I'm going for an Arsenal win.
That's what Steve.
Arsenal win. Why are you going for an Arsenal win?
I just think we will exploit the weaknesses in Man United. I think he'll continue Tavares at left back to give Wan-Bissaka a problem.
But then won't that also leave us exposed for Sancho, whoever, or Greenwood to come at us? Because Tavares wanders all over the place.
Yeah, he does wander, but I think it'll put a bit of more responsibility on Lokonga and Partey and Gabriel at the back, and I think he'll have a bit of confidence in doing that.
I used to always believe Steve's predictions. I think the man's like a wizard, because he even said one Chelsea defender will get injured and Chilwell, boom, ACL, that kind of story. But then, he proved that he was human when he picked Leicester to beat Chelsea. So
that was wild. He was just
but Brendan Rodgers was on a mad one that day, man, changing his formation for the first time in the season, all that stupidness. Yeah, so but yeah, playing Emile Smith-Rowe on the left will give Wan-Bissaka a problem.
Is Saka injured?
No, not that I know of.
Okay, good.
I think we're.
It said on fantasy that he's orange, both 70%.
Is it? It might be right. But you know what? I thought nothing to do with anything. But when Saka had that little injury and he came off, in my head I thought he's going to bring on Pepe like for life, and then he brought Martinelli. What does that say? Obviously, it worked because he scored, but.
Because he wanted the run. He wanted the runs in behind. There was no one running in behind to break the line.
Mike. I like how you brought that up.
Pepe would have. Pepe doesn't run in behind. Martinelli gives you that, and he's not going to hustle as much.
So now that you've even mentioned that, what's the story? Why is Tavares preferred to Tierney? I thought it was just an injury thing, but Tierney is fit now, and I mean Tavares has been playing well. He's probably was made one mistake against Liverpool, but he has been playing well. But would you, looking at it footballing point of view, Tavares over Tierney? Mike, Steve?
The thing is with Tavares, go on, Steve.
No. So for me, Tierney's better defensively. but Tavares has more going
Defensively.
forward. Say again?
Defensively, I think Tierney is better.
No,
All aspects.
no, not going forward. Tavares is more explosive going forward.
What do you do with the ball though? Tierney actually makes that run, finds the pass, he can score.
Yes.
Tavares to me strikes me as, first of all, Tavares strikes me as a guy that didn't start his career as a defender. I think you can you can tell it's one of those that he wanted to play forward, but he's good as a defender. But I think Tierney is also straight to the point, direct. I mean, personally, I would play Tierney over Tavares. But
but the thing is, Tavares finds himself in these little pockets of where the modern fullbacks want to find themselves, like inside left, and stuff like that. Tierney's never going to do that.
No,
Tierney's outside, get it to his left foot.
Exactly.
He's going to whip it in. You know exactly what's going to. But Tavares gives you that bit more X factor. You don't know what's going to happen.
I also feel Tavares takes too many risks as a defender.
He does.
Yeah, he's learning his game. He's 20 years old.
But so it's understandable when certain players. So I mean, if you look at say Sanchez, when Sanchez played for Arsenal, he actually took a lot of risks. But because of the kind of player he was and where he used to play, it's understandable. Bruno Fernandes takes a lot of risks for Man United now. You have them players when you look at Chelsea, for example. You have who using Chelsea. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Tavares should always start ahead of Tierney. I just think in the fact that I play Man United, and it's been shown that Wan-Bissaka has a weakness of people getting in behind him, I think he'll go Tavares, because Tavares makes those burst runs and is more likely to go in behind.
Yeah, but then if you've got Smith Rowe on the left, he can do that anyway, and then Tierney overlaps. But the difference.
Yeah, but it's not just about the overlap. It's also the going in as well. Because that's where Wan-Bissaka. Say again.
But ESR will do that. But then the problem for Wan-Bissaka is, does he track ESR or does he track Tierney? Because he's always on the outside. But conversely though, is that what about defensively? Because Tierney, is no fuss. He's not going to do any madness at the back. So Tavares will.
So
that's why it puts a big onus on Gabriel.
So Karim, you're going for
a draw.
Draw. Steve is going for win. Mike, draw as well.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I mean, the one thing, big shout out to Ben White and Gabriel. With all the crap they were taking beginning of this season, now everybody's calling them, my formidable centre backs. We're so strong, but all the crap they were taking.
They are good though, at the moment.
It is all good. It is all good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to that wonderful sweet point with loads of football to come and good things to come.
I don't know if you lot see the breaking news. Lionel Messi has won his 7th Ballon d'Or.
What, for transferring?
How?
No, but didn't someone say that the other day? Congratulations on winning your 7th Ballon d'Or. Evra, that's it. It was Evra. That's it. Evra. He said it on Sunday. No, Saturday. Saturday night he said it.
Yeah.
What? Because he won.
Breaking news today.
Well, maybe because he won the
Copa America.
Yeah, Copa America for the first time ever.
Man, I thought Lewandowski was going to win that. Who was second?
Wow.
Lewandowski was second. Jorginho was third. I really thought Jorginho would have had a good
Jorginho won Euros and Champions League in the same season.
Wow.
See, this is what tells you, it's what voting does. I can guarantee you right now, based on voting, if we vote for manager of the season, so shall win, because he's a nice guy. Just say.
Wow.
That just shows that there isn't any individual thinking. So basically, because that guy's he's been good for 10 years or whatever, and it's Messi, he gets it automatically.
But Mike, you know that from when Henry didn't win it and they gave it to Nedved.
Ronaldo was 6th.
Yeah, but I'm a bit biased.
Ronaldo was what?
6th.
You know the stats.
So Lionel Messi, Robin Lewandowski, Jorginho, Karim Benzema, Conte, Ronaldo, Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne.
Benzema over Salah.
Mbappe.
No, but last year Salah wasn't all that.
Yeah.
So for next year, Salah should be, well, depends who wins Champions League.
Wow.
I mean, if Lewandowski didn't win that, man,
Yeah.
Salah not winning it, not winning next.
How many times has Lewandowski won it? Never.
Never.
No.
Remember,
And
he
he's
was
consistent.
so.
He's always been consistent.
So you see, last year, this is the thing that kills me. Last year, they cancelled the award because of COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from the rumor and the story that was going on, that with landslide, Lewandowski was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
There's no argument. Champions League goals, but he has kept that form till now.
Yep.
Age as well.
Yep.
Has kept that form till now. And so I was in my head, I was thinking, come on, this guy should. I mean, before we started, I saw that they gave him the best striker in the world award, but
To who?
Lewandowski.
Fuck off.
But that's what they gave him, best striker in the world. But to me, I don't know why player of the.
We've got the best player in the world.
Stop swearing, my kids
Oh,
watch
sorry,
the show.
sorry. Do they? Sorry, kids. Don't copy Uncle Mike. He's got a bad mouth. Sorry.
All right. Well, let
I
us
need to go lie down. I heard Mike apologize.
To the kids, yeah.
to the kids, to everybody else. What do you think?
By the way, kids, you should be in bed at this time anyway. But...
Player and flop of the week, people. Player and flop of the week. Let us start with you, Steve. Player and flop.
Flop of the week is Fred with that dodgy shot. What was he thinking, bruv? What was he thinking? And player of the week. I don't know. I like Ramsdale's save. Gundogan, probably.
Come on, Steve. Make a decision.
Yeah, let's go Gundogan.
So Gundogan's your player, and
Yeah.
your flop is Fred.
Fred, yeah.
Karim?
Tottenham Hotspur flop of the week.
They didn't play though.
You're talking about Moura.
Yeah.
You know when you said Moura, right? I thought you was talking about, why are we talking about Lucas Moura in the Tottenham side?
Hey.
NS Moore with the top players
loss
from...
against Ennis Moore. I have to give it to my beloved Tottenham Hotspur. The showing was poor. It should have been a must-win game. So I'm not really happy and pleased with that. And my player of the week has to go to Jota. I think he played well in the game. He got the 2 goals, and I think he's a good prospect for Liverpool moving forward, and Firmino's replacement.
So there was a guy, I think it was a guy that came from Sainsbury's. I went to play for NS Moore against
The beast.
Did he score the winner?
I mean, his part-time job is the football, not Sainsbury's.
Rah, I feel like he should be my player of the week then.
Mike?
Flop of the week. I was Aubameyang. I just can't get it. I don't care. You can't.
Why? Because of the miss.
Wow.
The miss, and then the smile. Punch that guy. Yeah, no. I'm not having it. So it's Oba. Sort out Oba. Do better, please. My player of the week should be Jota, really, but I'm just gonna say Martinelli because I feel like it. Because he just come on and second touch and scored, basically put the game out, put the game to bed. So that's my player of the week. Arsenal really.
My flop of the week. Flop of the week, I'm with Steve, man. I'm with Steve. That guy, man. That guy, I don't understand what's wrong with that guy. Brazilian too, man. You can't even cover. Come on. It should be your DNA. You should be able to cover that thing. But player of the week, I will give it to Brentford Football Club. Simply because they're hardly ever in the news for anything, and they're quietly just doing their thing. Ivan Toney is doing his thing, and slowly just staying. I see them staying in the Premier League, even if it's just 12 games, 13 games. But we shall see. There are loads of contenders for player of the week, but I give it to Brentford. On that note, people, with loads of football to come during the week, please watch Grassroot Chats, subscribe, hit the like button, and all that good stuff. And then you get to see wonderful people like the Angry One, the new dressed Karim with great ideas and perspectives.
Suave and sophisticated.
Yes, and of course, Mr. Thanos, aka Big Steve, coming to you from North London. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful, good episode. Shout out to NS Mora. We can get some discounts for Sainsbury's and all the other places that you guys work. It's been a show. Good night.
Good night.
Uh-huh.